Mary became the mother of a God who made himself man in order to be Redeemer and for expiating the sins of the world. Without sinners, God would not have incarnated himself, and Mary would not have become his mother. Her mission, therefore, is combined to that of Christ's. They have been predestined in order to assure the redemption of fallen humanity, through whom the entire economy of salvation bears the imprint of mercy and the supreme indulgence. This was decreed by the Father in the Garden of Eden when he told Lucifer that his head would be crushed by the heel of an offspring of a woman. In view of her distinct privilege as Mother of God, Mary cooperated with Jesus in the salvation of humanity, became co-redemptrix, and now in heaven carries out the mission of mediatrix. Saint Alphonsus taught, Mary, therefore, as the Father tells us, became our spiritual mother at 2 times. First, when she merited to conceive in her virginal womb the Son of God. In giving her consent, she consecrated herself to the work of our redemption, and therefore, without pain, she carried us all in her womb as a most loving mother. The second time is when Mary generated us in grace, when on Calvary she offered to the Eternal Father, in profound sorrow of heart, the life of her beloved Son for our salvation. According to Cardinal Luis Aponte Martinez of Puerto Rico, since the Annunciation, when Mary gave her fiat to the Father, according to the Holy Spirit, to conceive in her the second person of God, the Father's only begotten Son. The Father then decreed that from that time on, all the graces given to mankind would pass through her as the mediatrix of all grace. And for all Christians who would want to reproduce Christ in their lives, this could only be made possible by the combined action of the Holy Spirit, acting in them through the Blessed Mother, who is both co-redemptrix of mankind and mediatrix of all grace. I distinctly remember from the weekly Mariology classes that I was privileged to attend with His late Eminence, Cardinal Jaime Sin, of happy memory. His Eminence told us that there is no saint in heaven that has not had devotion to the Blessed Mother. That is why she is the queen and molder of all saints. The Father created Mary's heart to be the perfect receptacle of His perfect love. She, on the other hand, responded to God's perfect love with her own perfect love. Perfect love for perfect love. According to St. Thomas, this exchange of love was manifested by an exchange of gifts. Mary gave God, who could not die, a human body and the power to die. And in exchange, God gave Mary the power not to die and was assumed body and soul into heaven. If we leave our consecration to Mary, the Holy Spirit would sanctify us and give us the power to die to ourselves and the power to live eternally with God. What does one have to do after he or she is consecrated to Mary? St. Alphonsus has said, consecration is not just a ceremonial act, but involves a way of life. 50 years ago, in 1957, Our Lady appeared in the United States and said, "My heart, my immaculate heart, is the channel through which the graces of the Sacred Heart are given to men. Of my sweet child, time passes, and with it, wasted graces and constant refusal on the part of man to cooperate with me and in the accomplishment of the divine will for his own sanctification and salvation. What am I to do, child of my heart, when my children turn from me? The false peace of this world lures them and in the end will destroy them. They think they have done enough in consecrating themselves to my Immaculate Heart. It is not enough. That which I ask for and is most important, many have not given me. What I have asked, and will continue to ask is reformation of life. There must be sanctification from within. I will work my miracles of grace only in those who ask for them and empty their souls of the love and attachment to sin and all that is displeasing to my Son. Souls who cling to sin cannot have their hands free to receive the treasures of grace that I hold out to them. Behold my small one, so tenderly loved by your mother. Behold then my heart, pierced by a cruel sword. Oh, what grief my children have caused me. My humble one, my small flower, we must have more souls who love unselfishly and without reserve. Who does anything who does not love? I wish to gather about me, my tender child, soldier and valiant bearer of the torch, an army of brave lovers who, as my torch bearers, will enkindle the fire of divine love in the souls of men. Only those who are strong in love can become my soldiers to bear aloft, not the sword of destruction, but the sword of fire, the flaming torch of divine charity. My poor children, you have suffered much, but do not fear. Take courage, for soon a heaven of rest will be given you, not a refuge from suffering and pain, but a nest of solitude for the little dove, so dear to me and the heart of my Son. Patience, sweet child, the will of the Father must be dearer to you than all else. This is the lesson every soul desiring intimate union with my Son must strive to learn. This is enough now, small one. Other duties call you. Go in peace. She then gave instructions the desires of her heart be transmitted to the local bishop. She said, "Go to the bishop, tell him of the desires of my heart. We will help you." How fortunate we are in the Philippines that we do not have to convince our bishops of the desires of Mary, of the Mary's Immaculate Heart. Rather, we have Marian bishops, such as Archbishop Ramon Arguelles, who are calling on the faithful to obey the proddings of Mary's Immaculate Heart. How fortunate you are who live in the Archdiocese of Lipa, this place especially blessed by Mary. With the plans of Archbishop Arguelles, Lipa will become the Marian capital of the Philippines and perhaps the whole of Asia. How happy are we who are invited to participate in this banquet that Archbishop Arguelles has prepared for our mother. Why is consecration